Hi, I'm Erik Jones, and you're listening to Verse by Verse. If I asked you to give me two words, one that represents the very opposite of genuine Christianity, and another that captures its true essence, what words would you choose? Of course, it's sort of a trick question because many words would work. But today I want to submit two words for your consideration: complacency and growth. First, complacency is the very opposite of everything Christianity is about. A true Christian should never be complacent about their spiritual life, or really anything. Christianity isn't about settling for the status quo or just good enough. That's why I submit that the second word sums up genuine Christianity almost perfectly: growth. Christianity is a way of life that must be characterized by growth. Growth is the antithesis of complacency. Christianity isn't just a belief system, attending a certain church, or a label we wear because of the family we were born into. True, genuine, biblical Christianity is all about growing and progressing in our character. It's about steadily and consistently reflecting more and more the character of God Himself. And there are many scriptures that back that up, using various words and descriptions. Today I'd like to share just one of those verses with you, a verse that expresses that Christianity is all about growth, though it doesn't actually use that word. This verse is found in 2 Corinthians 8 verse 7. Let's read it. The Apostle Paul writes, "But as you abound in everything, in faith, in speech, in knowledge, in all diligence, in your love for us, see that you abound in this grace also." Paul is giving the Corinthians and us today an admonition to grow in the domains of Christian life. Instead of using the word growth, he says abound. The Greek word translated abound means to exceed a fixed number or measure, to be in abundance, to overflow, to excel more and more. In other words, the word basically means grow, excel, progress. So what does Paul say we are to abound or grow in? Well, he actually lists 6 areas, 6 domains of the Christian life to abound in. Let's briefly consider each of them. He says to abound in faith. In other words, grow in a greater confidence in God's power and faithfulness, and allow that growth to lead to greater and greater trust in His presence and help in your daily life. He then says to abound in speech, which means to continually grow in making your words more pure, more excellent, more edifying, more truthful, and overall more aligned with the words of God. Then he says to abound in knowledge, or to continue educating yourself in God's Word through reading it, hearing it, and most importantly, practicing it. No matter how many times you've read the words in the Bible, there's always more to learn and always deeper understanding to be gained. He then goes on to say abound in diligence, or in other words, grow in the energy and focus you put into your Christian walk. Don't be apathetic or lackluster, but put maximum effort into what you are doing to serve and obey God. Be focused, be zealous. He then says abound in love. Love is the pinnacle of godly character. It sums up God's nature of outgoing concern towards others. It's shown by living a life of giving rather than taking or getting. So diligently seek to be more and more others-focused than self-focused. And then he concludes it by saying, abound in grace. Now, normally we think of grace as something that comes from God, which is true, but the Bible is also clear that graciousness or giving favor to others, even if they don't deserve or earn it, must be one of the characteristics that we build in our lives. It's a way of putting God's character of graciousness into practice in our daily lives by being gracious ourselves. So my friends, genuine Christians are to abound or grow in all of those areas. Yes, I understand that's a lot. It's not the kind of growth list you jot down and master in a couple of days, or maybe a week or even a year. Paul's admonition to abound in these 6 domains of the Christian life is a lifelong endeavor. Nobody, not you, not me, will ever get to a point where we can say we've completely mastered all of those domains. It's about progress. It's about consistently progressing forward, doing better today than we did yesterday, and doing better tomorrow than we did today. It's about never moving backwards, but always progressing forward. So we'll close this episode by reinforcing that powerful word Paul uses at the beginning and the end of this powerful verse: abound.
Verse by Verse is a Life, Hope, and Truth podcast. Check out the show notes to find more free content, like videos, articles, and booklets in our Learning Center.